15-6, when you guys are driving there, what happened on that pick there? What did you see there when you were trying to get Garrett?
Yes, it was a bad throw. I should have just dumped underneath that play. For whatever reason, just changed the entire energy, changed the game.
Aaron, how do you, I guess it's a little bit of a big picture, but I can't imagine you imagine starting the season 2-5. And when you hear that record, considering the players you know that are in that locker room, what goes through your mind? How do you assess it? How do you process it?
Yes, it's been a rough stretch since we played so good on Thursday night. We've lost each of those 4 in different ways, but we got to figure it out. Obviously, we added 2 big-time players to the locker room. One's here, one's coming Monday. So, everything's still right in front of us. We got to somehow keep the belief in the locker room and start a run. You can't win 10 in a row unless you win the first one. So we got to be very critical of ourselves, each of us individually, tomorrow, and then come in with the right attitude all week and go to New England and get a win.
How do you get everybody to keep the belief when it seems like a lot of the same mistakes keep
Stop
happening
listening to you guys. Number 1. Number 2, got to be accountable. I got to play better. That's the key. I got to play better. We got to find a way to run the ball better so we can action pass. I thought did some nice things in the passing game. Brees obviously had a couple of really nice ones. Spread the ball around to Tay, G, and Allen. Mike had a nice conversion. But we got to run the ball better, and I got to play better.
How much by not listening to us? What do you mean by that specifically? Just in terms of, like, reading the press clippings about being really good, is it something like that?
Yeah, all of it.
Even though you've had 8 years of history with Devontae, is there still, did you feel like it was more of an acclimation period than maybe you thought, coming into the game?
No, I threw a wide one to him on the first one. He kind of stumbled on the deep cross. Other than that, I felt like we were on the same page.
When you felt the momentum switch there with that pick there, how difficult is it to get that back?
It shouldn't be that difficult. I just felt like the energy, and it starts with me, the energy, for whatever reason, at halftime was a little flat. I felt like it was flat before the game, too. Sunday Night Football. So I got to look at myself and what I can do to bring better energy, but we all got to do better.
What do you see in the run game right now? I think it was 15 attempts today. I don't know if that's a product.
It seemed that there was a lot of contact on our side of the ball, so I'm not sure if we were mistargeted or just not winning the one-on-ones. They have a stout D-line, but we did some really good things last week and just didn't carry over that momentum this week.
Ulbrich talked about you guys not handling adversity the way that you wanted to. What goes into handling it better?
What goes into handling adversity better? Just being a great competitor. There's going to be some ups and downs, some tough moments. You gotta keep doing the little things. That's what it comes down to for us. We just don't do the little things well enough, consistently enough, myself included.
Garrett was pretty hard on himself when we were just talking to him about the pick that he dropped. Do you say anything to him, or what can you do?
I said I'm going to come back to you. He's a dynamic player. We need to target him. And obviously nobody feels sicker than him about that play, but he's a dynamic player.
We were talking to Devontae. He had made a comment that at times when you look around the huddle and you see how much talent's there, and you're like, wow. Do you feel that because you guys know how much individual talent you have, that guys are relying too much on what the expectations or what you expect you can do instead of actually doing it in the moment?
I don't know. I hope not, but I don't know.
Aaron, you talk about adding Reddick and you added Adams. How do you take all that talent and make it into a team, not just not a talented roster?
Well, it's a belief. You gotta have culture changers in the midst of the talent to steer things in the right direction. And there's a lot of us leaders that try and do that week to week, but it comes down to each individual making the right decisions during the week preparation and going out and playing as well as they can and trusting each other. I mean, I've been loving what the messaging that Brick's brought to us, and we had 3 great speakers last night at the team meeting, and the energy seemed really good. But for whatever reason today, it just kind of seemed a little flat in warm-ups. I mean, Sunday Night Football on NBC, our only show on TV. I live for these games, and I just don't quite understand why the energy was a little bit flat.
Your energy, Aaron? Your energy and the team's energy, or both?
Oh no, I mean, I love playing. I mean, I love competing. I just, for whatever reason, sometimes there's moments where you feel like the energy's great, the energy's kind of medium, the energy's a little mild or flat, and kind of felt it. You know, anytime that happens, you try and directly infuse like some energy and conversation to get things going. And then I felt like once we started the game, we had good energy, and then that shitty pick I threw kind of after that, I just felt like the energy just kind of dropped off for whatever reason.
Aaron,
You mentioned
were the speakers
last
last
one.
night outside speakers or people internal from the
Guys on the team.
Aaron, since you've been with the Jets, we've talked about recent history, and you kind of watched it last year so far. There's been a feeling here sometimes where the season starts getting away from this team, and it's here we go again. How do you avoid that? You guys have now dropped 4 in a row, 2 and 5. Feels like a pretty critical point of the season.
Just got to win. Starting this week.